A journey begins with one small step. It doesn't matter how hard you hit, whether you win or lose. What matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a band of brothers acting as one. Every week, we come together to witness these gladiators of the gridiron pour their heart and soul onto the field.
For 21 seasons, two schools just blocks apart have played for the Mayor's Cup. Well, that rivalry is renewed today. Welcome everyone inside McCarthy Stadium, Wilkes-Barre Township, Luzerne County, for the 22nd annual Mayor's Cup between Wilkes University and King's College. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bob I, joined by former Wilkes University head football coach Joe DeMelfi. Our own Aaron Dugan will be on the sidelines. Well, Coach, we know these two teams, this is their last game of the season. Anytime they play for this cup, there's high intensity on the field.
And one of the reasons, only a couple of blocks separate the two campuses. Wilkes struggling, Bob. Like to come up with a win. See if they can do that today.
To do that, they'll have to rely on a freshman quarterback. It's kind of a shuffle for the quarterbacks this year since Jose Tabora went down, but Nicholas Geimer is going to get the start today.
Geimer's a true freshman, apt to make mistakes, had made some mistakes. Wilkes expects him to have a big ball game, both with his legs and his arm today.
On the opposite side, senior Zach Whitehead, our other spotlight player, he may be the best quarterback ever to play in a Kings uniform.
Great statistics. He can drive the bus for Kings. Zach Whitehead, composed. So you have a true freshman on one side, a composed senior on the other.
Record low temperatures overnight. What will it look like when we start this game? Let's go to Mike Linden now from the Fox 56 News, first at 10.
The Mayor's Cup is here, Wilkes and Kings. And of course, it would have to fall on one of the coldest Saturdays that we have felt in recent memory. It certainly doesn't compare to Friday, but as we work our way into Saturday, expect for there to be some cold temperatures out there. If you'll be there before the start of the game, 26 degrees at 10 a.m. The good news is a lot of sunshine, but it's really not going to help the warming up all that much. Kickoff at noon, 35 degrees, and it doesn't get all that much warmer, peaking at around 39, maybe even 40 degrees. But with just a little bit of wind, any of these numbers out here likely to feel a whole lot colder.
It's definitely football weather, Mike. We are set. It's the 22nd annual Mayor's Game. It's Wilkes University and King's College. Next.
You're watching the 22nd annual Mayor's Cup game on MyTV WQMY.
Our national anthem here. Nice crowd, all bundled up, Coach. Ready to go?
We were on the field during pregame, a little nippy.
A little bit.
One of the things, Bob, in today's situation, we talk about spread offenses and shotgun and pistol and all those things in football. But when it comes down to it, you got to block, you got to tackle, you have to play special teams. If you can do those three things, you're going to be in the ball game.
You will see that potent Kings attack coming out, averaging over 28 points per game. It'll be a big stop if Wilkes can hold them, especially with their defense, which has struggled this year.
I think one of the things, and you're right, is a big stop early gives you confidence. If you have some younger players, they feel they can make a play. If you can't make that stop, then you have to come back on offense and not successful, then that little bit of doubt creeps in, especially when you're struggling. Wilkes is struggling right now.
All can start with special teams. So a little bit later start than we had anticipated. Both teams taking their time, getting themselves set. We are ready for football here at the turf field, McCarthy Stadium, multi-purpose stadium, soccer, field hockey, lacrosse also being played here. Right across from the Wegmans in the Wilkes-Barre Township area near the arena. So finally we have some, Mike Hawk has teed it up. And And back to receive, it looks like Marcus Miller and Jordan Downs. And we are ready for the 22nd annual Mayor's Cup game is underway. Taken by one of the up men. Shoots through to the 40, and that's where we'll see the Monarchs. Here now, the offense. Jordan Downs will get some carries, 584 yards on this season. The receivers are very good. Corey Flynn on the outside, along with Tyler Maroney. Up front, just one freshman on the line. That's Joe Parker in the middle. There's also 2 seniors and 2 juniors. Some experience up front for the Monarchs. And there's Zach Whitehead. He's thrown for over 5,000 yards in his 2 seasons of starting here, 34 touchdowns. This will be his last game here today.
A little bit of local flavor on the kickoff return. C.J. Curry from Berwick.
Straight ahead handoff to Downs. A yard at best. Second down on the way.
Good job inside. Tarantelli with helping on the tackle. They're going to need he and Warner. 3-man front for the Colonels.
Whitehead's first pass, a little out to Maroney. He makes the catch. They're going to say it is complete on the far side near midfield and just about a yard short of a first down. Wilkes giving up 39 points per game, but Whitehead and Maroney, he almost lost that one.
Well, he looked like he was juggling it at the end. They need a yard here to continue the drive.
Right up to Downs with room. The junior is in for a Kings touchdown on the 3rd play of the game.
Right side for the Monarchs. Great job by the offensive line. We'll take a look at this on the right side. Blocking down, that opens up. Excellent block. Runs away from one tackle, runs out of another, touchdown.
Timonello on for the extra point. Is up and it is through. And the Monarchs strike first on a big run from Jordan Downs. 7-0 Kings. Back to McCarthy Stadium. 7-0. Kings scored on the 3rd play from scrimmage. It was a 51-yard run for Jordan Downs. That's his longest of the year, Coach, and his 5th touchdown for the junior.
And I'll tell you what, Ippolite and Walsh on the right side of that Kings line did a great job on the block. And Downs just took off. 3-man front. If you can get to this linebackers of the secondary, it's tough.
60-yard. Yep, Coach. Minute 13 off the clock. Can't get more efficient than that.
Exactly right. 3 plays, 60 yards. Downs with the touchdown. Whitehead with the throw. That was bobbled a little, but maintained possession. They were able to pick up the touchdown.
Looks like Bryce McKinney, number 97, doing the kicking today. Tees it up at the 35. Wilkes trying to get back in this one. Taken at the 14. Up to the 30-yard line, and now let's check out this offense behind the freshman quarterback for the Colonels. Deemer was a receiver. He's playing running back nowadays, 237 yards. Outside, Aaron Coyne with 30 catches, along with Steamer out of Berwick with 33, number 18. And up front, Coach, very young, 3 freshmen and a sophomore getting the start this afternoon.
One of the things here, Bob, don't be real anxious. Work on trying to get that ball up the field. We start with the fake. Geimer tries to get it inside, nothing there.
Looked like Aaron Vascos, number 91, in there getting the start. Out the defensive end. No gain on the play. Right up the middle. That is actually Jacob Cadis getting in the start this afternoon, number 29.
Wilkes comes out, runs the ball between tackles. Geimer first. Now we're looking at a 3rd and 7 out of the spread offense.
Geimer out of Newton, New Jersey. He's thrown 8 interceptions. His limited playing time. He's back for his first pass. Out into the flat. Goes incomplete, but he got walloped behind this Siri Forsman.
Forsman, Bob, I'll tell you what, that's not going to do much for his confidence either. Forsman right in his face as he made the throw. Now, one of the things, and this is a good example right here, King scores, all of a sudden it's 3 and out. Your defense is going back on the field.
They took less than a minute off the clock, Coach. So the defense is going to go back on the field. Rugby style. He's hit. That's a flag. This is coming back. Roughing the kicker, going to go against Kings, and that looked like Cody Stevens.
Stevens made a mistake. Kicker going to his right. But he is the kicker. As Stevens full frontal hit. That was a good call by the official.
Yeah, that was an easy call, too, by Steve Keller and his staff here. And then back comes the Cardinals offense. They get a break. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. The penalty will move the ball up to near midfield, around the 48.
152nd catch on the season, on his career.
I think Coach Narr is talking about, is he considered a runner at that point?
Because of the rugby style?
Of the movement to the right.
They call the rugby, yeah. 4 down linemen. End around, trying to get it to Steamer. Kings spreads it out, but Steamer gets away. Great run by Steamer, up for 14 inside Monarch territory.
Excellent job getting the ball up the field. Took it outside. Jeff Steamer from Berwick is able to turn it up the field. There you see a great move by Steamer, and he's finally out of bounds, but a big plus for the offense, for the Colonels.
24th carry on the season for Steamer. Wilkes on the move. It's the quarterback, Geimer. About 3 yards. Now let's check out the defense for the Monarchs, giving up 34 points per game. DiGaetano, how about 30 straight starts for him at nose guard? His last game here, he's just a junior. Oh, he's a senior, excuse me. Behind him, some great talent. Both Bruce Damon on the outside, along with Jake Minetti out of Old Forge. And in the secondary, Foster is the senior. So on 2nd down, they get it out, trying to hit Steamer. Goes incomplete.
Tried to hit Steamer on that slant inside. A lot of people around. 2 receivers of 3 defensive back. The ball is incomplete, so we're looking at 3rd down.
One thing that has plagued Wilkes have been the turnovers this year. 31 in all, 22 interceptions, and 9 fumbles.
The other thing that's going to be important, Bob, is 3rd down conversions.
36% on the season. Room for Geimer. Ridden down. To be short of a 1st down. Taking him down was Bruce Damon. So 4th down, now a call for Trey Campbell. Here you see it again.
Outside, he takes the ball, picks up a couple, forced. It is a 4th down, about 5. I don't think there's any doubt you go for it.
Now when you're 0-9, what's the difference today?
0-9 and try to keep the ball.
Two wideouts to the far side. Watch out for the tight end. Geimer's going to pull it down, and he's taken down. And a flag. Damon took him down. The flag came out immediately. I suspect maybe a face mask or something on the far side. It came out pretty quick, Coach.
I would think a face mask.
And he's down. The quarterback's down, Joe.
Not a good sign.
We'll take a look at this again and see if we can catch it from this angle.
To the sideline. Then we had the hit from the second defender.
So that was Jake Minetti out of Old Forge, the senior. You saw the head-to-head contact, and I believe that's what the referees are talking over now. What kind of penalty is it? I mean, there's two different kinds, Coach.
Exactly. You got the targeting, could be an ejection. If it is the targeting, let's see what he calls.
Let's see what. Targeting.
Targeting penalty against the Monarchs.
Jake Minetti has been ejected. Oh boy, last game ever.
Well, we were talking about strange things happening. Minetti ejected because of the helmet to helmet.
So two big penalties for the Monarchs since Wilkes has had the ball. We'll see this again, and Coach, there's a difference in it. It's tough for us to tell, but the referee said it was targeting.
See Geimer down, and then the contact.
And Minetti's not happy. I think he was going in shoulder, and as the quarterback went down, he hit him head to head. It's incidental contact, right? They call it.
No, it's not
But
incidental.
no. So Wade Ripien, another freshman who did start a couple games during the season, comes in for Geimer, who is still being looked at on the sidelines. We'll see if he comes back. He looked like he was shaken up.
He's going to have to go through some type of protocol with the shot to the head. So see how that goes. As we have mentioned, another freshman at quarterback.
And around Steamer, still at his feet. Steamer takes it in for a Wilkes touchdown.
Great effort. Great effort by Steamer. 6'2", 205-pound junior out of Berwick. He's able to get it to the corner. There you see the handoff. Good block on the corner. Great block.
And that was Caddis, number 29.
Great block by Caddis.
Well, we've talked about strange things that happened in this game. After the punt, punter was knocked down, and then another penalty. Wilkes takes advantage, and with the extra point, they can tie it up. Strange things always happen in this game. Hawk on. It's blocked, like I said. It's down. Kings remains ahead by 1 point, 9:51 left in the first quarter, and we've been in this game 6 minutes and strange things all over the place.
That was just missed by a rush off the corner. Somebody inside had their hands up. Bob, the two big penalties aided Wilkes on the drive. Now their concern is Geimer on the sideline. They have to try to get Ripien geared up.
But he has played in the middle of the season when Tabor went down. They went to Ripien for a couple of games. You know, he has thrown for 723 yards. He can run. He not a great runner, not as good as Geimer, and that's what Coach Brown said about Geimer, why he got the start over Ripien.
Yeah, Geimer can make plays much more with his legs than Ripien can, and I think that's the big plus there.
And I would say Geimer, by that view, is not going to come back today.
My guess is you're right. I think when they do the protocol on the sideline now, with all of the emphasis on safety, I think you're right that we probably will not see him.
Okay, so we have a 7-6 score, 9:51, and here's the replay of the touchdown, low angle.
There you see it. There's the great block. Excellent block by Caddis. Steber takes it into the end zone.
So it goes down as a 10-play, 70-yard drive. 3:47 off the clock. The extra point, no good. Monarchs hold on to the 1-point lead. Their senior linebacker, Minetti, out of the game, ejected. Wilkes quarterback Geimer, the freshman, out of the game. Concussion.
Will be kicking it away for the Colonels.
Let's see how the defense reacts to the big sequence of plays here. Great, good coverage.
So here's what Kings has gone through this season. As I said, it's been an up and down year. They started with a nice win, and really just that 2-game losing streak. I would say the bigger upset is that Lycoming game right here, where it was 44-41. That was kind of a surprise, but the rest, very good teams in there, including Widener, who's playing Delaware Valley University today for the MAC title.
Great coverage by the kickoff team. Let's see how the defense reacts.
So Whitehead and company back out. They go on the ground again. Downs, who has the touchdown. Good hit by Jacob Brooks on the backside, 3-yard gain.
Jacob Brook on the tackle.
Again, the right side.
Pickup. About 4, 2nd and 6.
Here you see it. Downs turns it up the field. Good run support by the Colonel defense.
Quickly to Maroney, one-on-one, but Casey Evans, nice job on the defense, 2-yard gain.
And that kind of offense, that what they're trying to do is one-on-one with the defensive back. But excellent job by Evans. Forces the 3rd down.
Not even midway through the game. A lot of actions already. Nowhere to go. Tarantelli, big number 99, with the big tackle, and the punt team on for Kings for the first time today.
Dane Tarantelli, North Schuylkill, did an excellent job coming off the block, making the tackle, forces the punt team on the field for Kings.
Constantino in the punt.
So Tim Constantino on to punt, freshman out of Notre Dame Green Pond High School in Easton.
For the Colonels.
He's a rugby style as well. Taken by Cadis, up past the 40-yard line. And that's where Wilkes back on the field with Wade Rippian, a 6-foot freshman out of Damascus, Maryland. Let's check out some impact players, Coach. We'll have to see today. You know, talk about Armstrong, Robinson, and Moyer.
42.
Armstrong, the tight end, who previously was touted for some All-American teams. Robinson, great tackle, has made a lot of tackles, and Moyer also, who has been a leader in the tackle department. Rippian brings the Colonels out.
Armstrong, a career high this year, 56 catches, hasn't touched the ball yet. I'm sure they'll target him soon. So Rippian in. Gets it out to Cadis.
Rippian going to the right, sort of spread the defense there, was able to dump it off to Cadis. Here you see it.
Completion. Gain of 2.
Gave time with the drifting to the right. The sprint gave time for the defense to get there.
Stieber again on the end around. Kings not fooled. Gain of 1, if that. Darren Baynard, 274-pounder, wrapped him up. 3rd down on the way.
If that play, if the ball carrier can't plant and get up the field, if he stays flat too long, play's going nowhere, and that's what happened to Stieber there.
Last ranked offense in the MAC for Wilkes. They need to find it today, though. Here comes a big rush. Rippian out. He's going to overthrow his intended receiver. 4th down on the way. Wilkes now going to punt.
Again, Kings gets a good rush off the edge. Ripien really couldn't set himself to make that throw. It floated on him, so the Colonels will punt it away. Kings looking at decent field position.
Nye, the senior, last time he was roughed after the kick. Kings sending the pressure. Low kick. Actually hit a Wilkes player outside the 30. That's where they'll mark it. As you mentioned, good field position for the Monarchs, coach. How about the 35-yard line for Kings?
You know, one of the things, Bob, Coach Schnarr, that time they punted from a regular position. They didn't use the rugby style. And people say, why do they use that? It's because of the roll. They try to get the roll. But that's a good point right there. If they didn't do it that time, what's to say he's not a ball carrier?
I'm sure one of those rules that the NCAA will look at. A lot of teams are using that rugby-style kicker all from Division I on down. So the quarterback calls his own number and pushes forward for a couple.
Whitehead, we talked about him being the driver of the bus, has done a great job for the Monarchs during his career here. Makes the fake, pulled the backside lineman, tried to get him, offensive lineman, tried to get him up the side.
Comes the big rush from the middle. They catch him up there. Isaiah Robinson with the first hit.
I'll tell you what, Isaiah Robinson with a great defensive play. Sheds the block and then gets up the field right there to make the tackle.
Late flag, coach. Titus Nelson, a sophomore, got the rush.
Unfortunate conduct, number 32 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
One of the things you find in this game is you have a lot of emotion, and as a coach, what you have to do is channel that emotion, but don't let it get out of, very tough to do, but don't let it get out of control, especially in a rivalry game such as this.
And we've already seen a string of penalties on both teams, and of course a lot of chatter down there on the field. So after the penalty, it's a first down inside Colonel's territory for Kings. Whitehead flushed. Scott Maroney wide open downfield. Finally gets it to him. He's ridden out. They're going to give him a catch. Big hit out there. They call it a reception. Devin Fink put a big hit on him. Referees are going to confirm. They're going to call it incomplete. He was pushed out of bounds. Here we go. Look at it again.
One of the things when a quarterback gets to the corner, there's a lot of problems there with the catch. But again,
Ball
has
came out.
1 foot come back down.
And the ball came out, coach.
Ball came out. And he's explaining that to Coach Schnarr now. The foot was in, the ball came out. Wilkes has to do a better job and contain the quarterback, Bob. If they can't do that, that really spreads you in the secondary and causes you major problems.
Five-man rush. Oh, Nelson walloped right at the 43, gets right back up.
Warrior with a great hit. You can see why and here you see it, they're running stretch play right side. There you see Moyer with the hit.
That's Jacob Brooks, 22, coach, with the big hits.
And Brooks.
Yep. Out to the flat, they get it to Campbell, the H-back. He's going to be short of a first down on third down. So 4th and 1 upcoming.
And I don't think there's any doubt.
Right to the line of scrimmage. I don't think they got it. Trying to
They
quarterback
went
sneak.
underneath. I'm going to look at the official with the mark. Could be short. Tried to run a hurry up from underneath the center.
A lot of teams do that where they marked it a yard short. They're going to probably measure here. You can just feel the emotions on both sidelines, too. And in the stands.
If I'm looking at the sideline, I think you're right, Bob. Going to be about a half yard to a yard short. Great job by that Wilkes defense up front.
So a great job by the Colonels defense. We said they had to step up. They have. And Wilkes offense back on the field. First guest of the afternoon is with Aaron Dugan.
That's right, Bob. We want to welcome in Michelle Oliva, Director of Admissions for Recruitment at King's College. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Erin, and giving me this opportunity. And go Monarchs, for sure. I want to speak of tomorrow's big event on campus. It is our open house, and we are very happy to welcome especially many juniors and seniors. It's one of our biggest open houses. I'm also excited because the day starts off with early bird tours, financial aid presentations, then the president's welcome. We have 2 academic session opportunities. Following that, a lunch with our community, which we really pride ourselves on as far as staff, faculty, our students, administration, and really being able to connect. Also opportunities to meet with athletic coaches, clubs, and all different types of times with students where you're really able to see, is this a good fit for me? And am I a good fit for Kings? And my biggest hope for our students, families, and friends that do come to campus is that they feel at home, that they feel welcome, supported, and that they ask questions and be a part of the day with us. Also for seniors, Senior Preview Day is almost every Friday this fall and winter. And also in the spring, we have some overnights and college for a day for our seniors. It's a great time to be a Monarch academically and community-wise. We are so proud of what we're doing as a community and the students that we're welcoming.
I'm sure it's such a busy time. I mean, you have high school juniors, they're thinking about where to go. You have seniors getting ready for the transition. What's your biggest piece of advice for these high school students?
Visit, be a part of the community, ask questions, and get to know as many people as possible. I know the importance of financial aid. I know the importance of careers, outcomes, and having fun in college. However, to me, if you love the people and love the community, that will really drive the rest of those things, and you'll feel at home. And I hope Kings is home for many of our future Monarchs tomorrow.
Michelle Oliva from King's College, thank you so much for stopping and chat with us.
Thank you so much, Erin.
Thank you, ladies. Back on the field, couple first downs, coach, for Wilkes. They seem like they have a little rhythm going now on offense.
I'll tell you why they have rhythm. They've gone to the running game a little bit. Tried the short pass there, incomplete. Another third down to convert. Again, third down conversions during a ball game, extremely important. Let's see what they come up with.
Wilkes 0 for 3 this afternoon early on third down. They came in with averaging about 36% on third down for the season. Big one right here. Ripien, quick out and low throw. Damon was the nearest defender, and punt team will come on.
Tried to hit Stieber on that slant ball. As you said, it was thrown low and a little bit behind Stieber, so Wilkes will punt it away.
So Trey Brown, who handles the quarterbacks and the offense, the head coach, will talk to Ripien, see what's working. And now they'll have a chance now for Wilkes to flip the field. Another low kick. Pick up by Miller. Miller's got room. Miller makes something out of nothing. No flag down. Oh, there is a flag over there. You can see the emotions on both sides today.
And you know what? If you look at it, Bob, on the sidelines, you're playing with emotion. You're going full speed. All of a sudden, you don't notice the sideline. You might know you're close to it, but tough to stop a full speed play.
Hold number 1 for the return time. 10 yards to the spot of the foul, first down.
Okay, so there's the call. We'll back Kings up, and chance now for the Colonels to pin them back a little bit.
One of the things with Kings, I think, is to try not to become too impatient. They've been pretty good offensively, and teams like that sometimes lose their patience and try to go downfield a lot. Whitehead, with his experience, and he and Coach Narr working together, I'm sure that shouldn't be a major problem.
So Nelson getting the bulk of the carries, couple yards for him. Saw a lot of downs early on. He has the only touchdown.
One of the things early is, Bob, Wilkes' defense is not on the field a lot right now, so that helps them.
Out into the flat, Nelson drops it. So Nelson, who was number 35 and number 8 now, he's a sophomore. He gets some playing time. One thing I know Jeff Narr is looking for, he talked about, is he wants to see a balanced offense today.
You know what? Run, pass. What do you want? It doesn't have to be 50-50, but it's nice to maybe 60-40 if that's what you've been doing during the year. I think Nelson there wanted to get up the field before he had the football.
Down the middle, they find Miller on a big gain up near midfield.
Styles, the safety, looked like he wanted to close on that route, stayed back.
28-yard gain. Whitehead now getting a rhythm. As we take a look at this replay.
That was the route in the middle of the field. As I said, Styles not quite sure to close on that. Whitehead makes a nice throw.
Got it out to Corey Flynn. So now Kings going up tempo. Zone read. Whitehead is taken down quickly by Derek Schneider, the sophomore.
Schneider with a nice play.
There's Jeff Narr, 8th season here with Kings. 11-year assistant at Muhlenberg before coming here. So Whitehead calling the play in the huddle. Kings 2 of 4 early on, third down this afternoon.
So we have one team that has not converted a third down right now, a team that's at 50%. Let's see if they convert this one.
Oh, this is going to go right to a Wilkes player. It's picked off by Devin Fink. Flag at the middle of the field again. Fink up to the 45. We'll check it out, though. Bad pass.
Here you see, yeah, it was. I think he thought the receiver was going to come back to the ball, and he slipped down as
Holding, number 64. Penalties declined.
Miller didn't get back.
First
Got
down.
a first down for Wilkes. So right now, Wilkes hanging in there, getting some breaks. Bad throw by Whitehead.
Talk it over with the coach. First interception of the season for Fink. You heard the holding call before the penalty, or before the interception. So Ripien back on. Right up the gut, Ripien, and boy, good gain on first down, maybe 4. Positive yardage.
Positive yardage, keep it on the ground. Don't have to be in a hurry. You have to try to play to Ripien's strength, whether it's the run game, short pass game.
So 5 wideouts in there. No one in the backfield with the freshman quarterback. Kings bringing the pressure. Ripien finds a gap up close to a first down inside Kings territory.
5 wideouts, spread the secondary. Let's run the quarterback draw. And that's what happened. Kings' offensive line does a good job, not a great job, but they got in the defensive player's way Ripien makes a play. That's what you're asking for.
Good block by the center, Anthony Marcinkavich, a junior. Little jet sweep to the outside. Nick Yannick, I believe a freshman, number 15, on the carry.
Stevens up quick on run support for Kings. Again, that play is flat, although he did end up picking up maybe 3 or 4 yards. So an interesting first quarter.
And a long first quarter. A lot of action. 13 points put up on the board, a mixed extra point. The difference here in the 22nd Annual Mayor's Cup.
You're watching the 22nd Annual Mayor's Cup game on MyTV WQMY.
Watch Northeast and Central Pennsylvania's #1 10 o'clock news team, Jamie Innes and Ryan Cummings, along with Chief Meteorologist Mike Linden on the Fox 56 News, first at 10. We are back at McCarthy Stadium, Wilkes-Barre Township, 22nd Annual Mayor's Cup game. Joe DeMelfi, Bob Ide, and Aaron Dugan. And Coach, I don't want to say entertaining first quarter, but I'm struggling for an adjective, what we just saw.
Be a good
Active,
word.
okay.
A lot going on.
There is a lot going on. The freshman hauls it up. That is Ripien, who've had a quarterback out with a concussion. One guy ejected, Jake Minetti from Kings, because of a hard hit.
Stever will look like he wanted to run a go route, Bob, but looked like he stopped his. Not quite sure what that meant.
And I think Wilkes has the momentum, and they're playing very well. Trying to hit Coyne over the middle, and goes incomplete.
So 2 passes. Again, a third down, non-conversion. And I believe that's 0% for Wilkes right now on third down. We said pregame that was going to be important.
So, field position now the name of the game. Both teams have settled down. Better kick from Nye. Miller pulls it in, and Colonels will have the Monarchs pinned around their own 14-yard line.
Now you want a big effort from your defense. They are Kings deep in their own territory.
So, gone through a first quarter. What kind of impact have these players had? We've seen them already. Maroney, Damon, and Salavante.
All 3 of them have played extremely well. We talked about being veterans, making tackles, running the field defensively. Maroney, Damon, Salavante have all done that.
Maroney over the 1,000-yard mark right now on the season for catching yards. They go back to downs, and he's up near the 20. Nice gain on first down. So this is the 20th play coming up for Kings. They have just about 115 total yards so far of offense. They've thrown it 8 times, so they're getting that balance, a little bit more running than passing.
In this situation, deep in their own territory, they are going to run the football and do it again.
So another third down coming up, 2 for 5 Monarchs so far.
One of the things they feel comfortable doing when they throw the ball in this kind of situation is that short pass to the wide receiver who's pretty much on his own. This time, Whitehead drops back.
He's going to be close. I don't think a big hit put on. Going to be short of the first down. Good defense by the Colonels, getting Whitehead to get out of the pocket. Look at it again.
That's what they wanted. A good defensive effort, good coverage by the secondary, and then over quickly.
Tim Constantino in the
Evans for Wilkes makes a good tackle, forcing the 4th down.
Constantino on for the punt, his second of the day. Cadis back, should get good field position for Wilkes. Oh, this is real low. Short punt. Gonna go less than 30 yards, but takes a nice roll. They're gonna mark it just at the 49 of Colonels, and here's what Wilkes has done this year. A lot of L's up there, and they have played better as of late, especially in that Albright game.
You know what, Bob? They've played well for a quarter, maybe 2 quarters. Sign of a young team, possibly. Defense on the field a lot, possibly. But they need to sustain a drive offensively right here to help them.
Freshman's back on. Stieber in motion again. Trying to use him, then he gets the corner. Good block downfield. Stieber with a big gain up to the 15.
Play has been a good play for them. Stieber has made some nice runs off of it. Here you see him. Good block on the corner. Stieber turns it up, has some speed. Knocked out of bounds.
36-yard gain for the junior out of Berwick. Wilkes up quickly. Fake it this time. Going to be incomplete, but a flag came in. Let's see. This may be in the defensive backfield. Was in the catch.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a hold, Bob, if they're throwing it in the secondary. Ripien went to his right, was able to bide a little time. Let's see what they call.
It was definitely not a catch. So we'll make that clear. But where is the penalty and what will it be? Coach Narr not happy with the referees this afternoon.
I can understand that. Some discussion now from the other side of the field with the official.
Holding, number 91 defense. The hold was on an eligible receiver. Half the distance, automatic first down.
We got the first down. You're in. Here you see it. Again, biding time. And the flag is behind the play. Great hit by defense.
So after the penalty, 1st and goal, Colonels trying to take the lead back. Or continue to lead. Don't take it back, excuse me. Looking for their first lead today, I should say, and a big hit in the middle. Jacoby Forsman out of Hughesville, a senior, playing his last game with the tackle.
Great tackle as Forsman steps up in.
Stieber's big run on explosive play. That's what Wilkes need this afternoon to stay in it.
Right now, Stieber's giving them their offense basically on that jet sweep play as they look at 2nd down.
This is Brooke, excuse me, number 22 on the Wildcat. He did play a running back position last year. He started today as a free safety. He's going to be in the Wildcat again.
Good call. Has some ability to run the football. Gives him better legs maybe than Ripien. So the Colonels looking at a 1st and goal from about the 6-yard line.
Well, it should be second, right? 2nd and goal, because they had the penalty, then ran that play right there, or there's a flag down.
Another discussion.
It should be second down. The Chains have it across the way as third down. But it should be second and goal.
Now, referee going over to talk to Coach Brown.
It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5.
26 plays run so far for Wilkes, 113 yards. 104 on the ground, just 9 through the air. So they're concentrating on that rushing attack, Coach, and they pulled that off.
And that's something I think is what they needed to do today, is make the rushing attack strong, try to throw off the run game, which is the play action, instead of straight drop back. Still 3rd down on the marker.
3rd and goal from the 5.
Sticking with 3rd down. Joe and I think it's second, but we're going to go with 3rd. Maybe the penalty, I thought a defensive holding was an automatic 1st down. Anyway, Ripien back to the end zone. Drop by Stieber at the goal line.
Tried to run that slant ball inside.
4th and 5.
There you see it, right there. And again, looked like he wanted to turn up the field before he had the ball. So we're looking at 4th down as per the yard marker.
From the 5, field goal team on the sidelines. Wilkes is going to go for it.
And as you said before, why not?
28% on the season. Wilkes on 4th down, and good timeout taken by Coach Brown. 11:29 left in the second quarter. Talk this one over. You bring the field goal kicker in, get the points on a chip shot, take a 9-7 lead.
Up here it's an easy call. But I believe it's an easy call on the field, Bob. If you can make this, great confidence. If you don't, you're in great field position. You're on their 8-yard or your own, their 8-yard line going in. So now Coach Brown looking at, talking to his offense about what type of play they're going to run. I think one of the things you look at, Wilkes scoring, they have scored points. The problem is defensively, they have given up a lot of points.
Yeah, the Wilkes defense has given up 39, but Kings defense has given up 34 points per game, 7th in the MAC, so they can be scored upon. So 4th down and goal from the 5. The freshman flushed. Tucks it and is hit short of the goal line. Kings holds, and they'll have the ball deep in their own territory. Here we go again.
Well, one of the things that happened, went to the right and then tried to go to the left. Ripien penned himself in just a little bit. When he finally got to the outside, the defense had reacted, came up, made the tackle. So, but the plus for Wilkes is deep in Kings territory is where the offense for Kings will start.
So from the 4 are the Monarchs. Three-man front for Wilkes. Whitehead keeps it. Nowhere to go. Bud Moyer from Tamaqua on the tackle.
Moyer reacting very well as Whitehead tried to take the read option and take it outside. No gain.
One thing we have seen, Coach, over the years, great middle linebackers for the Colonels. Ever since you were there and after you into the future. Downfield to Maroney. Still at his feet. Big play, Tyler Maroney up to the 37.
Found a gap in that defense. There you see it. Wide open, safety off the ball. Safety has to be as deep as receivers. If you're too deep, that's what happens. The receiver finds that gap.
30-yard gain. Colonels playing that run attack to perfection today.
We had, we talked about good linebackers. Mike McCree, who's presently the head coach at Hanover High School, was a linebacker for us and did a great job. Of course, the defense during that time was an exceptional defense.
Another tackle for a loss for Moyer. Whitehead all day.
Too much time.
Overthrows the intended receiver, Maroney.
Good coverage by the secondary. Whitehead had a lot of time to make that throw. Here you see it, looking downfield, finally decides to throw to the crossing pattern, but a little high.
It looks like they're playing Lucas Wood, 30, is a spy on Whitehead. He was following him everywhere he went. So they're playing 8-man deep. 4-man rush, over the middle. Flynn with the catch.
Again, good throw from Whitehead.
23-yard gain.
Corey Flynn finds that open spot between the corner and the safety.
Whitehead, between 3 defenders, hits Trey Campbell, excuse me.
Campbell with a good catch, a lot of people around. As you see it on the crossing pattern, Brooks right there for the Colonels.
Whitehead calling the play at the line of scrimmage. Carries it himself up inside the 30 for a first down. 6th of the day for the Monarchs.
So the drive started about the 6th. And what you were hoping for, if you were Wilkes, is maybe put some pressure on. But Whitehead found Maroney wide open on that 30-yarder, started their offense moving.
Whitehead nowhere to go. That's Lucas Wood on the tackle.
Lucas Wood, Whitehead again with the read off that stretch fake, but Wood sits right there and makes the tackle.
Out of Quakertown, Lucas Wood. He's a junior. No rush. To the end zone. Touchdown, Kings, Corey Flynn.
If you're a defensive back, Bob, and the receiver runs a route, you have to have the mentality of, I'm going to run the route with him. Didn't happen. Here you're going to see it. It's a post in front of the safety, right there. Need to turn and run the route with him.
29-yard strike from Whitehead. Flynn's 3rd touchdown of the season. Whitehead 16 through the air. Extra point is through. And the Monarchs extend their lead now to 8 over the Colonels.
One of the things you hoped for was a stop by your defense. Didn't happen. Credit Kings offense, Bob. 94 yards for a touchdown. Good drive.
Okay, another interview with Aaron coming up. And who do you have now?
Well, Bob, I'd like to welcome our next guest, Dr. Ann Sclater, Provost and Senior Vice President at Wilkes University. Thanks so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here, Aaron.
So we have to talk about this awesome milestone. First PhD program ever at Wilkes. How excited are you?
We are so excited. In our over 80-year history, this is our first PhD. It's a PhD in nursing, and it's our only PhD, the only PhD in nursing in the area, and only the second PhD in the area at all. And what we're really excited about is this is a program for individuals who don't want to step out of their lives to step into a program. So it's online, and in between, they come to campus to really bond and to create a cohort. We welcome 17 new nursing PhD students from 7 different states of the union. What we're really excited about also is that the impact is not just in the northeastern Pennsylvania region, but nationally.
And I'm guessing it's also going to have an impact on local healthcare.
Absolutely. There's a critical need for educators of the next generation of nurses at universities. And we feel it, and many other universities feel it. So we feel actually a duty to help address that. That is what we were founded on years and years ago.
Well, congratulations on that. Fantastic. And how about any other academic programs, anything going on?
Aaron, I don't have enough time to talk about all of them, but let me just talk about a couple. Okay. We are so excited about our hospitality leadership program to fill the needs for the hospitality industry here and across the nation. And it's leadership because it's not just about filling those entry-level roles, but becoming leaders in the hospitality industry. We're super excited about that. Secondly, a neuroscience program that we've just started. Not only does it provide a neuroscience training and research laboratory on campus for our students, our athletes, like our football players, but also a place for research. Our faculty and students are researching together a cutting-edge field in biology and psychology and neuroscience. Third, I would say, is our geology program. With the fracking and that industry, this is a program that looks directly at the impact on our environment. And we welcomed 24 new faculty to teach in these and many other programs. Committed, diverse, and highly qualified faculty here at Wilkes. We're delighted to have them here.
Wow, you have a lot going on.
Yes, we do.
Well, thanks so much for stopping to chat. We appreciate it.
Delighted to be here, Aaron. Thank you.
Okay, back to you guys.
Thank you, Aaron. So that last drive, we'll recap that real quick from Kings. 9 plays, 96 yards, 3:25 off the clock. Stieber's been their leading rusher this afternoon. They're using him a lot.
Done a great job on that sweep to the corner. He's able to plant a foot and get it up the field, which is what you need to do. But they convert. Another first down for the Colonels. This is, I believe, what you want. As you mentioned, that they had to drive the Kings 9 plays, 96 yards.
Wilkes would like to get some points here, back up on the board. Big rush put on. Finding Armstrong. No gain on the play.
Credit Ripien with getting the ball away. He had some pressure. We talked about Armstrong pregame as one of the impact players. Makes the catch. Gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Good tackle out there. Four-man rush. And they get him. Sack. Mike Dunn, the senior, second sack of the year.
I'll tell you what, if you can do that, helps your secondary tremendously. Makes that sack. Don makes that sack. The four-man rush. Got to feel good about that.
Especially his last game here with the Monarch.
Forces a big third down and a long third down, about 20.
Ripien just gonna lay it up. All kinds of activity with Armstrong.
Now they're gonna call incidental on that, plus the ball.
Cody Stevens was his number 1 right there. The defender, no call.
They had the receiver defender got their legs tied up. They're not gonna make a call on that. Ball was uncatchable to begin with. I think they're calling for maybe a push, but as I said, uncatchable ball. 4th down for the Colonels.
Bobby Nye back again. Hasn't really gotten any of these punts in the air. That one he does. Good job. Miller with a fair catch call. He'll take that right at the 19.
Referee signaled ball was touched. And so there would not have been a call on that if there was a collision.
So Kings back out on the field, leading 14-6, 5:09 left in a very active first half.
Bob, now the defense for Wilkes back on the field. After that 9-play drive, they're back on the field. This is something we talked about earlier, becoming the fatigue factor.
Kings a year ago opened a 21-7 halftime lead. They held on for a 42-14 win over at Schmidt Stadium. They could put up another score here before the half. Will be close to what we saw a year ago over at Wilkes. Whitehead back. Overthrows Campbell.
Trying to make that throw off the fake inside. That's a play action off the spread type offense. Had some time to make it. Overthrew the ball, and here you see it. The fake gets people moving outside defensively. Looked like he might have him, but just a little bit overthrown.
A lot of adrenaline flowing. You know, it's your last game if you're a senior. It's a rivalry game, last game of the year. So a little bit extra oomph on everything you do today, I think. Whitehead ran into his old player.
He sure did. Ran into one of his linemen and went down, forcing the 3rd down.
Might have been the center, McCandis, the junior 300-pounder. So 3rd and long facing Kings now. The Monarchs 3 of 7 today. 3rd down conversions. Here comes the blitz. And they get him.
Backside. He was sprinting right. The blitz came from the backside. Excellent job by Lucas Wood. We've seen him make some nice tackles today. And here you see it. Tackle blocks the end. Wood came right up inside. Makes the sack. Wood has been a very strong player for the Colonels defensively this year.
He's been active. 3rd sack of the season for him. Constantino from his own end zone, near his own end zone, high hanging kick. And a big hit put on by Cadis, holds on. Wilkes has the ball. We'll time now to take a quick timeout. 14-6 in the 22nd annual Mayor's Cup game. We are back at McCarthy Stadium. Wilkes had the ball. A couple plays go in the wrong direction, including a fumble. So 3rd down on the way for the Colonels.
Again, we're talking about the conversion 3rd down as Ripien calling signals.
Wilkes has not converted one this afternoon. Rush, Ripien downfield. Thought Stieber was going one way, he went another.
That's the 2nd time we've seen that. Stieber pulled his route up, looked like a post from the inside receiver, and Ripien threw it to a phantom receiver, so it's going to be a 4th down for the Colonels. Found themselves in the hole after the fumble, Bob. Then Stieber on the jet sweep couldn't pick up any yardage, so the Colonels punted away.
Straight kick by Nye. Forces Miller, fair catch at the 15. No flags, and that's where the Kings will take over, leading 14-6. They've run 33 plays for 210 yards, and motions getting high out there, a little pushing and shoving and whatnot.
Yeah, there are certain things that, as a coach, I think one of the things that happened there is the Wilkes punt coverage team came down, grabbed Miller's. He has a flag or something on his
towel,
a towel, and they grabbed it and threw it to the ground.
Well, they say boys will be boys, right?
Boys will be boys.
Nelson stood up.
Short gain on the play.
Impressed with Wilkes defensively. They're doing a nice job on the run. Passing game, Whitehead has too much time, is able to find some gaps in the secondary.
Algier on the tackle. Out quickly to Campbell. 16-yard gain, move the chains for the Monarchs.
Here you see Whitehead dropping back. Flynn runs a go pattern. Campbell runs a crossing pattern. Again, time to throw is the key here.
Over the middle, caught by Miller.
I'll be honest with you, Bob. I would be sending people after him. I think you need to disrupt the rhythm. You cannot allow him, and there you see it again, to get into a rhythm. And when you're playing a zone defense in the secondary, when a man is in your zone, and here comes Wilkes, adding a little pressure.
Well, this is what Whitehead can do. He shoots out, it gets 10.
Going back to my point, if you're playing a zone defense, when a man is in your zone, it's man-to-man. Now, when he goes out of your zone, you let him go. There you see Whitehead escaping, getting up the field.
No rush all day. Finds Campbell for about 9 yards. Whitehead now starting to pick this Colonel defense apart.
Well, one of the things here is a short pass, has time to throw it. And again, a late close by Robinson. He's able to make the tackle.
A little in pattern. Taken by Flynn, move the chains.
Looking at 55 seconds left here in the second quarter. No hurry. I believe Kings is left with 3 timeouts.
Time to go over the middle. They do again. It's incomplete.
The safety that looks at that route needs to close on it right now. You cannot play 8 yards off that ball.
There you see it again.
Here you see, and you see the safety coming late, much too late.
Whitehead, 13 of 19, 188 yards. No timeout used yet. No rush. Whitehead right through the middle at a big hole inside the 10. First and goal, Kings. 38 seconds left. Timeout call by the Monarchs.
And their first timeout.
We talked about Whitehead. He could do it with his arm or his legs.
And it's great to have a quarterback like that that can make plays both ways. That time, he spread that secondary out. They're looking for the pass, and he's able to take it up the field. Very good run. We're going to be looking at a Kings offense. As we mentioned before, they've given up some points. The defense has, but the offense has been able to put points on the board. And again, similar to last year when they scored right at the end of the first half.
21 points last year, eyeing that here at home today, trying to pick up the Mayor's Cup for the second time in as many seasons. Last year they won 42-14.
They have 2 timeouts. They have the ball on the 9-yard line.
Whitehead all day, wide open, touchdown Kings.
I'll tell you what, Bob, when you have that much time, it's, and the other thing is, maybe you look at changing up the zone to a man-to-man down there. I think you have to have a chance to make a play defensively. As we said, makes a great throw, but has a lot of time to do that. Credit his offensive line.
Tyler Maroney's last game. 7th touchdown of the season, has over 1,000 yards receiving. Extra point is no good. Wide to the left, but the score after the 9-play, 84-yard drive, 20-6. Kings. Colonels did play well in that first half. Again, up and down every time they play. It seems like they get good streaks and bad spurts.
Well, I think we go back to number one, Geimer getting hurt, taken out of the game, and as we said, probably, I'm sure, surely going through some kind of protocol for a head injury. Colonel's down by 14. By no means out of the game. As you said earlier, they've moved the football some. They've had some chances. They were inside the 5, couldn't get it in the end zone. So let's see what they come up with. Rippion now takes the reins, as he has for the last couple of series for the Colonels.
Wilkes will get the ball to begin the third quarter. Coming up on our My TV halftime report, Aaron Dugan with both school presidents down on the field. Always nice to chat with them. Glad they could come over on a chilly Saturday afternoon in November. So we have a teed up. Yannick and Fink deep to receive. On the hop, it will be Cadis up to the 26. Well, you have 2 timeouts left, but you're down 20-6. You get the ball, you just take a knee, right?
I'll tell you what, Bob, I would maybe run a quarterback draw, maybe run Stieber on that sweep again, but I'm not going to throw the football here. We're playing okay. We need to get together at halftime, make some different adjustments, then come back out, but don't take any big chances here turning it over.
37th play of the half.
Williams on the run.
Sincere Williams, a freshman out of New Jersey, up for about 4 yards. And that should just do it if Les Kings wants to call a timeout.
I don't think that they do. I think we're going to have the halftime coming up.
It'll be Kings 20, Wilkes 6.
So the first half is in the books after a very active first quarter. Things settle down a bit, and Kings now surging ahead 20-6 at the half. Aaron Dugan now going to try to catch up to Coach Narr. He's on the other side. He's down to 40. She's on the 30. She goes. So we hope Nicholas Keimer's okay. We know Jake Minetti has been ejected because of a hit in the first quarter, and Aaron Dugan trying to catch up with Coach Narr, but he's having a conversation, as you can see, with the referees.
With the active first half we had, there are several questions.
Let's go down to Aaron.
Well, Coach, I'm sure you're happy scoring again before heading into the half, but a few frustrations as well. What are your thoughts overall in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, offensively, we're sputtering a little bit, but then we get the pass game going right now. I think we can throw the ball. We were trying to get the run game, going, hit a big run, but they're doing a good job of stopping the run, and we're doing a good job, hit the pass, and so we got to try to keep that balance, in the second half here to keep them off balance.
When you talk about balance, it's an emotional game, and it gets a little chippy at times, but what's the key to having that emotion but keeping it in check?
As we told them, just to play to the whistle and then stop, and then let their pads, do the talking from there. So we came out, a little, we gave them that first drive, and we kind of, over, exuberant or whatever, and kind of, got called, and now our kids understand and are playing a little more controlled, and our defense, I think, is playing very, very well. As long as we don't, hurt ourselves, I think we'll continue to be okay defensively.
Great. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Aaron. And we'll get back with Aaron in a minute or two after we take a break. An extended halftime here at Kings, and we'll be back in a moment with both college presidents. A score at the half. Kings leads it 20-6.
You're watching the 22nd Annual Mayor's Cup game on MyTV WQMY.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to McCarthy Stadium. It's halftime here at the 2017 Mayor's Cup. Kings College hosting Wilkes University. Monarchs up 20-6 over the Colonels at the half. I'm Erin Dugan. We thank you so much for joining us on this lovely day. And I'm so happy to have our special guest, Father John Ryan, president of Kings College, with us right now. It's always great to see you.
It's great to be with you, Erin, today.
So Kings, they recently had a record-setting first year. You've got to be excited about that.
Oh, absolutely. This is the largest incoming class in the history of the school. Last year was our largest up to that point. But even more than that, the over 700 new students coming to Kings College. It was also the highest academic profile we ever had in the history of the school. Grade point average in high school, SATs, ACT scores are all high, and it's the most diverse class we've ever had. We had people from not only our neck of the woods in northeastern Pennsylvania, for different parts of the state, different parts of the country, and different parts of the world. So in every way, we're really pleased with this incoming class.
And I'm sure helping out with those recruitment efforts are the new sports programs and new academic majors. Tell us about it.
Oh, absolutely. You know, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, the girls' ice hockey is playing their very first match against Elmira, nationally ranked. And 7 o'clock, the men's ice hockey will be playing up at the Revolution's Ice in Pittston. This is the first season for ice hockey. And I can tell you that almost every one of those players comes from outside of our areas. We have 9 people from Canada playing ice hockey for us. We have 4 from Texas. We have a couple from Florida, a couple from California. So it's another one of those reasons why the school is broadening out and attracting people from other areas. Engineering is new, civil engineering. There's no civil engineering in northeastern Pennsylvania. This is our first class of civil engineering and mechanical industrial engineering, which there's no industrial engineering in northeastern Pennsylvania. So new programs are attracting students from not only part of our region, part of the world. If you look at these 2 football teams out here, the vast majority of these members are from outside of those areas, and sometimes people from our area forget that.
Right.
That the majority of people at these colleges come from outside of our area to live and to study in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Absolutely, lots of expanding going on, lots of exciting endeavors. One of those endeavors, very exciting, is that dual degree program with Notre Dame. For those who don't know, just tell us about that.
Sure, Aaron. Students can spend 3 years at King's College studying engineering, and then, assuming they get through that well, they can transfer into the University of Notre Dame for 2 years and get 2 degrees, one from King's College, one from Notre Dame. The last 2 years, I've had dinner out at South Bend with our students out there. We have more than 20 out there right now, and I ask them 2 years in a row, I ask them a question, how do you think you're doing? Now, I'd say these students are from northeastern Pennsylvania. For whatever reason, these aren't outside people. And consistently they tell me we're about medium to top. So people from northeastern Pennsylvania are every bit as good as anyone top-notch institutions like the University of Notre Dame. So we're thrilled with that program, and we're thrilled at the results. And it's a point of pride, I think, for us in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Absolutely, a great opportunity for students. Well, we thank you so much for joining us. As always, great to chat with you.
Great to be here, Aaron.
All right, stay with us, the president of Wilkes University, when we come right back. Welcome back to McCarthy Stadium. It's halftime here at the 2017 Mayor's Cup. Kings College hosting Wilkes University. The Monarchs up 20-6 over the Colonels at the half. And we are so happy to be joined by Dr. Patrick Leahy, the president of Wilkes University. It's so great to see you.
Nice to be here, Aaron.
A lot going on at Wilkes University. We talked earlier about the first PhD program ever at Wilkes University, and there's got to be some more initiatives you're excited about as well.
Oh, there's a ton going on at Wilkes. I mean, every fall seems to be more and more active, but this fall in particular, we started the year by opening up our brand new Karen Bellis Media and Communication Center, bringing all of our communication arts under one roof, and then just a few weeks later, we rededicated our new Sordoni Art Gallery, bringing the arts right onto South Main Street, both as an enhancement to our students, of course, but also to the community. I have this saying that you can't be a true university without an enduring commitment to the arts, and I think that's a bold statement in that direction. And then we keep building things around the campus. All of the sidewalks are being redone, all the other enhancements to beautify the campus, and at the same time, the south part of Wilkes-Barre. So lots going on.
Yeah, I got a chance to recently stop into the new Sardonia Art Gallery. It's beautiful. It really is.
Yeah, and as I think you mentioned that you saw our first show, an Andy Warhol exhibit, curated by our very own Heather Sienkiewicz, our new gallery director.
Good stuff, good stuff. So you're continuing to make major investments in your academic programs, especially engineering. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so our latest project's a major $10 million expansion of our engineering program. I mean, we decided a couple years ago, Aaron, that if we wanted to be serious in the teaching of engineering in the 21st century, we had to be in nanotechnology, bioengineering, additive manufacturing. So this major investment allows us to expand into all those areas. This is all part of a $100 million investment in our campus over a decade, and this latest project will be finished this coming spring.
And your enrollment, it seems to be growing. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, fortunately it is. I don't think there's ever been a time at Wilkes when we've had more enrollments, and something a lot of people don't know is we actually enroll more graduate students today than we do undergraduate students, in large part because we were early adopters of online delivery. We just feel like that is the way in which many graduate students are going to get their education in the future. So we were early adopters of that, and consequently allows us to bring our programming to the entire country. We have 45 states represented in our student body now. So that's at the graduate level, but at the undergraduate level we continue to grow as well, mostly because of new programs that we're rolling out. An honors program that's in its third year, and this fall, a brand new innovative program we call Wilkes Edge to help students who don't feel completely ready for rigorous college level work and need a little bit more of a transition into college. So we have our first cohort that we're testing out this fall. So trying to recruit students across the board into Wilkes.
Yeah, so these enhancements, would you say they're evolving the university?
For sure. I mean, a lot of people know that we were founded in 1933 as Bucknell University Junior College, and then we became an independent college, a university, a master's university. And next year, when the next Carnegie classifications come out, we will in fact evolve to a doctoral research university. And unless anything changes, we'll be the only one in northeastern Pennsylvania because of the way in which they sort of categorize bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs. I mean, we have 550 doctoral students at Wilkes right now. It's an often, I think, underappreciated part of our university. So we'll be really pleased to get that recognition throughout the industry.
Absolutely, and Dr. Leahy, finally, it is Veterans Day, and I know Wilkes University does a lot for veterans. What do you offer for veterans, and what does this day mean to you?
Well, we try to do a lot for veterans because we recognize their contributions to our country. We always say that a lot of us who did not serve our country in uniform, one of the ways in which we can serve our country is to be supportive of those who have served in uniform. So we welcome veterans on campus. We're proud that we're recognized year after year after year as a military-friendly school. We've rolled out a new Veterans Center for not only student vets but veterans from the community. We just are so grateful for everything that our veterans do to protect our freedoms that we want to play our role in supporting them upon their return. And we're really proud at Wilkes to be recognized as military friendly. And we thank, on this Veterans Day, all of our veterans for their service.
Absolutely, and it's always great to chat with you, and we thank you for stopping to give us some information about Wilkes.
My pleasure, Aaron.
All right, stay with us. We're going to have some stats and highlights from the first half. When we come right back, you're watching the Mayor's Cup on MyTV WQMY.
You're watching the 22nd Annual Mayor's Cup game on MyTV WQMY.
Back at McCarthy Stadium, halftime. Your score, Kings over Wilkes 20-6. Bob Ide and Joe DeMelfi getting you set. An extended halftime. We'll talk about that first. The referees wanted to review the Jake Minetti targeting play. Your feeling on that?
You know what? I think you made the call. You made the call. I understand you don't want the person to be ejected, but and I applaud the referees for looking at that, but you made the call, and I think it would be tough to reverse it.
I don't think they did reverse it, so Jake Minetti is out for the game, his senior game. So let's talk about the game overall, though. Kings came out and took the early lead. Wilkes then followed. So let's take a look at some of the first half highlights, Coach.
I'll tell you, one of the things is, we look at the rushing game. Downs on the corner, runs away from a tackle, runs out of a tackle, big gainer, touchdown.
51 yards, and it was 7-0 with early on in the game, but Wilkes responded.
Yeah, Stieber does an excellent job. He's the leading rusher for Wilkes right now. I think he has 75 or 80 yards on 6 or 7 carries.
Then Kings came up with 2 touchdowns, and but Zach Whitehead throwing an interception.
The interception caused by the receiver trying to come back, slipped down, couldn't get there.
But the Monarchs then put up 2 touchdowns.
And here's the post pattern, runs right in front of the safety. Great catch, and
then the one right before the half, Coach, a breaker.
Touchdown. And there's the other, too much time. Quarterback has Whitehead plenty of time. Touchdown for Kings.
So the last couple of drives, one was 96 yards for Kings, the other 84 yards, and those are backbreakers. Wilkes will get the ball to begin the third quarter. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll check the stats when we return here to McCarthy Stadium. We are back at halftime, 20-6 the score. Kings over Wilkes. We're going to check out some stats, but let's talk about Zach Whitehead's first half. Overall, 14-20. He did have the interception and 2 touchdowns.
I tell you what, he's played well. His offensive line has given him plenty of time to throw the ball. He's finding the receivers. The interception really was a slip by his receiver coming back to the ball.
On the other side, Ripien thrown into action after Geimer went down with a concussion. It looks like 3 of 11 for just 9 yards.
But their running game has picked them up some yardage. So I think, Bob, maybe that's what they need to concentrate on here in the second half.
Let's talk. Here's some halftime stats, Coach. Overall, plays right about the same. Rushing attack about the same. The difference you can see in the passing yards. Time of possession pretty even. So if Wilkes maybe can get some rushing yards or some passing in there, they have a chance.
I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to put points on the board, Bob. I mean, you rush the ball, you get it down there, you have to convert. You can't get inside the 10, come away with no points.
The other glowing statistic, and you coaches talk about it all the time, third down conversions. Kings, 3 of 8 today. Wilkes, 0 of 8.
I tell you what, and people look at, they say, oh, there's too many statistics. That's one of the telling statistics in a ball game. If you have a team 1 for 8 or 0 for 8, and the other team 50%, maybe 4 for 8, normally the 4 for 8, a high percentage is going to win that game.
Wilkes will receive the second half kickoff. So what would you like to see them do? You mentioned the running attack with Stieber and trying to maybe see some trick plays. We've seen that before from Trey Brown.
I think there's a couple of things. You need to really go into the well to come up with plays at this point. You have 30 minutes left. You're not going to be on the field except for the short time in the spring, but it's not game condition till next fall. So throw what you can at them.
12 first downs for Kings, 9 for Wilkes. Wilkes 1 of 2 in the red zone. Kings 1 of 1. So we have it teed up by Mike Hawk.
Impressed with Flynn and Maroney, the receivers for Kings. They've done a nice job first half as Kings kicks it off.
That's actually Bryce McPhinney doing the kicking for 97. Flag all the way back, thrown by the referee after the ball was brought up by Cadis. Check out the flag. We've had a bunch of them in the first half as well. 5 overall.
In the back.
Yeah, we have a block in the back, so the good field position turns out to be not as good because of the penalty. Instead of the 41, they're going to be starting inside the 20.
So what does Coach Brown think his team needs to do in the second half? Aaron had a chance to talk to him.
Yeah, Bob, he was pretty happy with the defense in the first half, but he said they got to do something on offense. They need to find a way to manufacture those yards. He said we're kind of in a funny place right now with the quarterback going down. We have to figure out how to move the ball down the field. I asked him also about, the chippy nature of this game and how things get a little heated. And he said that he told the guys at halftime, just play as hard as you can, but when the whistle blows, move on to the next play, Bob.
Now that next play is run by Rippion, but the junior DiCatano in there.
Yeah, great job by DiCatano. Getting there very quickly, making the tackle, forcing a second down with loss of yards.
DiCatano, a senior. Rippion flushed. Gain of about 5, third down on the way.
Rippion does a nice job there, picking up some of the yardage. You see him, he has a little bit of speed. He gets to the corner. So that will make it 3rd and 7.
Again, 0 for 8 in that first half on third down. All day, Rippion. Good defense. Trying to hit his favorite target, Garrett.
I'll tell you what, that's an excellent defensive play. Hassan Maxwell does an excellent job knocking that down for the Monarchs, forcing a 4th down.
Maxwell, a senior too, I believe, and he is out of Pittston area. So he kind of replaces Jake Minetti. Maxwell was shaken up this season. Started this season as the linebacker. Nye with a low kick.
Comes the rest at the 40-yard line.
Resting right at the 40, and that's where the offense comes back on for the Monarchs.
Smart move by the punt returners, staying away from that ball. If you're not going to field it in the air, once it hits the turf, especially the artificial turf, you never know. Get away from that ball. Decent field position for the Monarchs at their own 40.
Well, Jordan Downs opened the game, as we saw, in halftime with a 51-yard scamper. Overall, has 7 carries on the day, 61 yards. Now the Colonel defense. Need to step up, get that ball back. Whitehead. Again, all day. It's his H-back Campbell.
I'll tell you what, Bob, that Campbell's run that pattern several times, very successful. Again, a lot of times to throw it. Trey Campbell picks up about 7.
2 in a row for Campbell, and he's inside Colonel territory to the 31. Gain of 16.
Threw it to the short side, Bob, and I'll tell you what, if you're playing zone to that side, you have to feel that. If there's nobody inside of you, that receiver is very wide. You need to get there.
Wilkes bringing 4, trying to get some pressure on Whitehead. To the air. Maroney catches it. Inside the 25, gain of 8.
Isaiah Robinson again in on the tackle for Wilkes. But Maroney, we talked about a little while ago, doing an excellent job from a receiving standpoint.
Get the pressure, but he gets out of it. Whitehead ridden out of bounds near the 10. Let's call it the 12.
Well, the other part of it, if you're going to rush with 3 or 4, that means you have 7 or 8 covering. That means those 7 or 8 are dropping. If the quarterback can break that line of scrimmage, look it. It's another 15 yards to a defender.
Yeah, that time that Wilkes trying to rush 5. Here comes the blitz again. Whitehead steps up. Taken down by Moyer, leading tackler today. 13 so far on the day for the product out of Tamaqua.
So Whitehead again give you that little move and try to get outside, but doing a nice job with this Kings offense right now.
From the 8. Whitehead with the huge fake. skips in for a Kings touchdown.
You know what they say about any offense? If you can't find the ball, you can't make the tackle. Whitehead with an excellent fake to the running back takes. Here you're going to see it. In fact, the fake and then gets a great block on the corner from Trey Campbell, but the fake inside opens it up.
So Kings picks up right where they left off at the end of the first half. Scoring on the first time they've touched the ball here in quarter number 3. Tamanelli on, missed his last one, hits the uprights, and this one falls no good again. But Kings extends their lead now to 20 over Wilkes.
You're watching the 22nd Annual Mayor's Cup game on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome back to McCarthy Stadium. We're in Wilkes-Barre Township, Luzerne County. 22nd Annual Mayor's Cup game. Monarchs trying to make it 2 in a row over their rivals from Wilkes. They have a 20-point lead now here early on in the third quarter. Bob I, Joe DeMelfi, and Aaron Dugan. There you see some of the Monarchs. A little surprising today. Both teams wearing their home jerseys. Of course, Kings in the red, Wilkes in the blue. Wilkes got special permission today to wear the blues.
Yeah, we were talking to Coach Brown before the game and talked about the procedure to get that special permission.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of triplicate forms being filled out. Ball comes out. It was stripped. Looks like it stayed in bounds.
If it did, the Kings may have it, as there is a.
Nope, it looks like the guy from Wilkes, number 8, recovered it.
Great gathering of people. Here we're going to take another look at this.
Menza. Good job by our camera people today.
Excellent job right here. And there you see the ball come out, hit a Wilkes player's leg, and then there was a scramble. Quarter started with Wilkes on offense. Haven't been able to move the football. Defensively, could not stop Whitehead from conducting that drive down the field. So they're down by 20. There's the last drive summary, Bob. 6 plays, 60 yards, minute 58.
Comes a struggling Wilkes offense. Quick out to Williams.
I'll tell you what, that's a excellent coverage by Kings. We're going to see Maxwell, Hassan Maxwell, get over there very quickly to make the tackle.
Williams again stood up and taken down by Bruce Damon. He's a senior out of Maryland, 3rd and long on the way. Just seems like Kings now knows where the ball is going at every play.
Well, we're talking about keeping it on the ground. So now is when you go into your well and say, okay, we got to come up with something here to prevent us from going down even further. They're down 20, Wilkes is at this point.
Rippion. Short of a first down.
Yeah, he's going to leave himself about 5 yards, Bob.
No one open downfield. Good coverage in the secondary.
I tell you, they're getting away with a 3-man, 4-man rush. When you can do that, puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Well, you can see that's what you want Wilkes to be doing to Whitehead.
Exactly.
Kings is doing it to the freshman quarterback.
Again, defense looking to come back on the field.
You saw Coach Brown there as the ball takes a Colonel's bounce near the 5. He's enjoying this team. They're 0-9, but he said he's having a lot of fun with his Colonel team this year.
You know what? What you're developing sometimes, you look to the future and say, okay, this is what we're trying to do. This is what, some coaches like to climb to the top. Some coaches like the view from the top. But you're working with the kids every day. You develop that relationship.
And what were you like, Coach, when you were
You know
on
what?
the
I
sidelines?
enjoyed the climb.
Did you?
I really did. Coach Sheptock took over
Yep.
after I did, and I felt the program at that point, we had turned it around. It was in good hands.
So this offense back again. They already drove 96 yards on one drive in the first half. This one will start about the same spot from the 4.
Again, 2 routes on the outside of the zone defense, nothing in the middle. I think Coach Narr, looking at his offense, has been very successful throwing the ball in the middle of the field. Let's see if he goes back to that.
Picked off, touchdown, Wilkes.
I tell you what, that's a great interception. Excellent. And I'll tell you what it does. It may just change the whole tenor of this ball game. Devin Fink, Jr., goes up high as Whitehead tried to make that throw to the corner.
His second INT of the game. That's a good one. He read the eyes of the quarterback, and that's what you teach, and he is pumped.
And
he should be.
He was able to get off the ground to make that interception. Again, middle of the field has been good. If we look at a graph of where Wilkes or Kings has thrown the ball, the middle of the field has been good. But he tried to go to the outside there, did not work. Fink with the interception.
Kick is up and good, and trying to figure out who that is. It's listed as number 9, and we have Casey Evans as number 9. Looks like he's doing the kicking now. He made that one, and suddenly this game and scores cut in half, Coach.
Big play defensively, and they have not played badly. The Wilkes defense, although they're down 13. I'm sure Coach Narr and Whitehead would like to have that one back.
Yeah, Whitehead has not thrown a lot of interceptions in his day, and look at it
Here
again.
you see it, but I'll tell you what, that's a great job. 2 receivers together. I don't know if that was going to be a quick move up the field, but Fink, excellent job on the interception.
So let's see if that streak continues now for the Colonels. Get that momentum back after that good defensive play. Do you come out and do an onside kick or something? I mean, I'm thinking wild, right?
You know what? No.
You're like,
if there was I don't know if I'd do it here, Bob, but if there was a score within the next 4 or 5 minutes and I was with Wilkes, I definitely would think about it. What you could do is air it up, hit it very high, try to get it between the 35 and 45.
Houck just keeps it straight up. That looks like Campbell from his 20. Take it down quickly, 10-yard return, make it 11. Here comes Whitehead and company out. Let's see now how that defense feels and see if they can make another big play.
Well, they weren't on the field a long time there. Fink makes the great interception. It'll be interesting to see Kings. I talked about this earlier. If we put the areas of the defense up in sections, they've been very, very successful in the middle of the field. Come out with trips left.
Here comes the rush. They're trying to put some pressure on. Campbell take it down quickly. Brook on the first hit. About a gain of 4.
Again, Campbell in the flat has been very big for Kings today. Makes that reception.
Campbell's 6th catch. They flush Whitehead. He's got room to run. Takes a big hit by Robinson out there. Both players stood up. They've met a lot of times over the last couple of years, Robinson and Whitehead.
Whitehead's going to be about 2 yards short, but you're right, Bob. Big collision. Nobody left their feet. Good contact.
So 3rd down for Kings. 3 of 8. Ball's on the turf. I think Kings recovers it, but it will be 4th and a yard to go.
I believe they did too. Quite very good play by the offensive lineman. Joe Parker fell on that ball, or else Wilkes would have had great field position. So again, the defense does their job, makes a stop.
And they should get okay field position out of this. Constantino on to punt. Plenty of time, another low kick. That looked like Cadis from his 18, about a 4-yard return. Now that offense comes back on, let's see what Trey Brown is gonna dial up. He's been known to run some trick plays in this game. Haven't seen any yet.
There are 2 things. You just scored defensively. You're down by 13. You're on your own 20-yard line or thereabouts, maybe 25. So you don't want to get crazy. I'd rather have the ball outside the 40 to do that. But you need to find something offensively to spark you.
They've run it to Stieber a lot, 6 times for 75 yards. Let's see if they go back to that. Trips to the far side. Try to hit a screen to Stieber over there.
Well, I made the fake inside, and then he tried to hit Stieber, but there were too many people. You need to be spread out for that play to be effective, Bob. There are too many people in one area. There were 2 receivers, 2 defenders, and another player. Better to the wide side, you have a little bit more room to operate.
How much does a day like this, the temperatures, the 30s, it's cold, the ball feels like a rock, how hard is it to catch?
I tell you what, after you come out for pre-games, I found that most of the time you're pretty much acclimated to it. Now, if you're maybe on the sidelines, you come into the game, as we look at the replay there, it comes up with no yardage facing 3rd down again. We've seen a slew of 3rd downs for the Colonels.
None converted yet. Some of the receivers can't figure out what to do, and that's going to force Wilkes to take a timeout.
Which is a smart move right there. The receivers were trying to get on the right page.
Again, another freshman quarterback in there. Geimer was hurt in that first quarter. Ripien's played a little bit, but, you know, Coach Brown very excited about his freshman quarterbacks. There's 3 in all. And he's also a realist and says it's too early for them to play.
Well, and I think there's a certain, and we talked about that. He and I talked about that before the game. When I was at Wilkes, we had some players that could step right in and play as freshmen. In fact, we had quite a few. We were just lucky at that point. We recruited some kids that were players, and they could step on the field and play as freshmen.
Over 10 Wilkes this afternoon on 3rd downs. High snap. Here comes the blitz. They get it out, and they get it to Deemer. Deemer is a 1st down and more. Breaks a tackle up past the 40 to the 43.
Excellent job, and they convert their first 3rd down. Almost a bad snap. Give Ripien a lot of credit for handling that ball.
The sophomore brings it up on a 16-yard gain.
Then Deemer makes the catch and turns it in.
Down the middle. Oh, he had him, and it's picked off. He had Armstrong, overthrew it. And an easy interception.
You have all kind of another activity on the field. Let me tell you what happened there. Armstrong had good route. He was under the safety. Ripien overthrew it. Armstrong then tried to get the ball away from the safety who intercepted the ball, and we had all kind of activity. We have a couple flags on the ground.
I believe that was number 22, Derek De La Cruz, who picked it off. He's out of New Jersey as a sophomore. He's listed as a running back, so we'll have to check that out again.
The safety
Official
sat.
foul, number 87.
Here we see the
Also, dead ball, unsportsmanlike, number 29.
Also, maybe it was Trevor Hill who picked it off, 29.
Here we see it. You're going to see Armstrong right down the middle, underneath. Ball was overthrown.
That is who I said, Trevor Hill, the sophomore, 29. There you see it rips him down. There's the pushing and shoving.
And again, Coach Brown talk about, I think he's talking about the fumble, but I think the officials are saying ground can't cause the fumble.
Well, let's go back to the play. Ripien I think he had Armstrong wide open, as I said in my call. Down the seam, right down the middle, he just overthrew him.
Exactly.
That was a great play call. Good job by Hill to pull in a 5th interception.
Here you see it again. And he was wide open underneath. In fact, that could have been thrown a little earlier and let Armstrong run with it. Now you see Armstrong, and there he goes. The ground caused the fumble.
He was working to get that ball, I'll tell you what. Give Armstrong a lot of credit.
Yes.
The senior 6'3", 215, working Hill to get that ball back out. So Whitehead back on the field. 5-man front for Wilkes. They try to bring the pressure. They finally get Whitehead for a sack.
Brought some pressure. Caused Whitehead to try to step up in the pocket. No pocket to step to, and he is sacked.
And Coach, maybe they were listening to you because you've been calling for that all afternoon.
Anything that, again, disrupt the rhythm of a quarterback once he gets a hot hand.
Schneider on the sack. Ball's on the turf, and Wilkes has it at the 23. Isaiah Robinson comes up with the ball. Wilkes with a great opportunity now to get back in this one.
And again, got some pressure. He steps up. Ball's knocked out of his hand. Robinson recovers. Big opportunity here.
We talked about the strange activities in this game. Seems like every year something happens. And you look at the Wilkes offensive numbers, you think they're getting blown out, but they've had the opportunities now. Now the Colonels come out, trying to cut back into that Kings lead. We have our 3rd quarterback now of the day. New quarterback. They go to the air. They go to the end zone. Touchdown, Wilkes!
Great throw.
Wilkes Huffin, first collegiate pass is a touchdown, number 13, and he hits Steber in the end zone.
Steber goes up high. Excellent catch for the touchdown. I'll tell you what, Hoffman did an excellent job putting it up there. Steber goes high to make the catch. Nice job by the Wilkes offensive line. Time to throw it.
Looks like Evans in for the extra point, number 9. And it's blocked. And the extra point is no good. But Wilkes Huffin, out of Wayne, New Jersey, comes in, throws a pass and a touchdown and a strike 22 yards to Stieber.
And interesting, he threw it to the middle of the field, right where they had Armstrong wide open prior to.
So Wilkes within a touchdown. Time now as we have a little break. Go down to Aaron with another guest.
Well, Bob, we're welcoming back in Michelle Oliva from the admissions department at King's College. Michelle, earlier we talked about opportunities for students coming into King's College. Let's talk a little bit now about the admissions timeline and when students need to get these things done.
Yes, of course. Thank you for welcoming me back, Erin. So right now is the time to apply, to fill out the application on thecommonapp.org or kings.edu. We don't prefer one over the other, so either one are a good choice. Both are great. And then the next thing to do would really be to decide whether you want to be an early action student or if you want to be a rolling admission student. Early action is non-binding. To be able to have everything into us before December 1st, we will get you your decision before December 15th, so it's exciting right before the holidays. Rolling admission is also a wonderful choice in that if you're taking another SAT attempt or an ACT attempt, you have the opportunity then to submit your application and then follow up with those college board scores. So this is the time for that. FAFSA.gov is also a wonderful place where you can apply for financial aid, grants, and loans. So in doing so and going on FAFSA.gov, students are able to then get a letter from our financial aid office at King's that states exactly what King's will cost them. Our admissions team is wonderful and ready to have conversations about financial aid, admission, application. We love receiving emails, phone calls, and visits in regard to this. So the next step then, once those two components are done, would really be to come back and visit us in the spring. Our accepted students truly see King's in a different way. It's an excitement that is truly built up because now when you're sitting in the seat in the classroom where you're meeting friends and faculty, I mean, this is a real opportunity now, and it really comes to fruition for our future monarchs. So we'll be happy to welcome them back.
And quickly, the open house, we just want to remind everybody one more time, tell us the information about that.
Absolutely. Tomorrow is our open house, and the information to sign up would be at kings.edu. So to be able to join us tomorrow, we would love that.
Thanks so much, Michelle.
Thank you, Erin.
Okay, Bob.
Thank you, Aaron and Michelle. Things starting to heat up back on the field after the 22-yard touchdown from Wilkes. Tipped, picked off again. Intercepted. Allgaier, we talked about him, number 31, the sophomore with his first INT.
I'll tell you what, tipped at the line of scrimmage, I believe, by Warner, and sets up Wilkes at the 41-yard line of Kings.
So you talked about going deep in the playbook. How about deep on the quarterback depth chart? We're on our third quarterback today. It is Wilkes Huffin, and he's going to come back out for this series.
And I'll tell you what, he's coming out with a lot of confidence. He just made a big throw to Stieber.
Wilkes now within a touchdown. Try a little jet sweep to Stieber. He gets the corner. Stieber with room. Big gain for the Berwick product. Knocked out of bounds near the 22-yard line, a 19-yard gain.
And I'll tell you what, he may be over 100 yards for the day. Here you see it. Gets the corner. Good block. Another good block. And Stieber picks up excellent yardage.
This time they fake it. We have a flag coming flying in as the quarterback is pushed back.
Usually the referee making the call there would be interior line, and that's a hold, and that's what we have.
Talked about Stieber, 7 carries, 94 yards, has a touchdown. Leading rusher today for the Colonels.
Holding number 87.
I think now's the time you go to the bottom of the well. We were talking about that.
Still first down.
They'll get something out there that may be completely contrary to what you normally do.
But you do have a freshman quarterback, so you have to be careful of that.
Well, I think you're at the point you're down by 7 points. You're looking for your first win. It's the 10th game of the season. Maybe we need to take a chance.
13 straight points put up by this Colonels team. They trailed 26-6 in the third. Movement up front. Timeout quickly called, I know, by Wilkes. There was no flag. There was a timeout call. 4:31 remaining in the third quarter. So 3 turnovers in this quarter, Coach. All coming from every time it looked like Whitehead touched the ball. Fumble and 2 interceptions.
And then those 3 turnovers led to 2 touchdowns for the Colonels. So, and they are in great shape right now at the 32-yard line of Kings.
Hey, give credit to the Wilkes defense, too. Coming up with big plays.
I think they've played, as we said before, during the year, they'd have 2 or 3 quarters or maybe 3.5 quarters where they've played well, then get maybe tired out or make a mistake. But overall, defensively, even though they've given up a lot of points, when you cause turnovers as a defense, that's a very big plus.
Seven penalties between these two teams today. A couple of offsetting, unsportsmanlike. Fake the jet sweep. Huffin dives forward. Up near the 25, so that will bring up second down.
Freshman looks like he can run a little bit and picks up some yardage to the left side after faking that jet sweep to Stieber.
Out to Armstrong. The big tight end barrels forward. Brings up third down, a little bit shorter than it was before after the penalty.
I like the call. Huffin sprinted toward Armstrong, which cuts the distance down, is a little safer passer, and Huffin completes it. Field to his left here with motion.
Good push from that line. It's going to be close to a first down. Good series here by Wilkes running the ball, and they're going to give it to him. Move the chains.
Freshman has done a very nice job coming off the bench cold in this kind of situation.
Cold is right.
Yeah.
30 degrees out there. We're in the third quarter. Lay it up for the big tight end. A battle, touchdown Wilkes. Garrett Armstrong takes it away from the defensive back. Flags come in, he threw the ball in the air.
I'll tell you what.
But the touchdown will count.
And I'll tell you what, watch the pass. Nice pass by Huffin, a lot of air under it. Here it goes. Then it's jump ball. Armstrong comes down with it.
That's sportsmanlike conduct. Number 87, going to kick off.
Gonna hurt them on the
kickoff.
But they're excited, have a chance to tie it up right here.
We said Armstrong having a career year. It's 6 touchdowns. The 6'3" frame doing it for him.
I'll tell you what, that's what you call throwing it down the chimney. When you can get it that high, it looked like an arena pass almost. Gets it high and comes right down. Armstrong has a great opportunity to use his height and athleticism to go up and bring it down.
Evans to tie it up. This one is up, and it is good, and we are tied at the Mayor's Cup with 3:12 in the third quarter. 3 unanswered touchdowns from the Colonels, and suddenly we have a game. So with 11:50 in this third quarter, Wilkes trailed 26-6, Coach, but 3 straight touchdowns off of 3 straight turnovers. have the Colonels back in this one.
Exactly right. Defense has brought them back with the turnovers. We were running the replay of the touchdown and Armstrong going up, making the catch. Good coverage by Kings. Had a hand in there, but Armstrong just took it away. Now the minus part to all of that is you're kicking from the 25-yard line.
So Kings will get good field position. We said expect the unexpected in these games. We didn't have it a lot last year, but we do today, don't we?
It's been very, very, very active from the first quarter to right up. 3:12, third quarter, 3:12 left. We have a tied ball game.
Kings with 3 turnovers, very uncharacteristic of sometimes during the season. So Hawk tees it up from the 20-yard line. Miller and Downs to receive. This one will go to Miller from his 30. 16-yard return up to the 46. So here comes Zach Whitehead after the interception, number 18.
The other part is the Kings offense has to start thinking now we're a little bit snake bet as the Wilkes defense has done an excellent job over the last 3 quarters, basically, as they forced 3 turnovers here in the third quarter.
So Nelson is behind Whitehead. Nowhere to go. Good job by the interior defense. A yard at best.
Interesting.
Here's the drive by the Colonels after the interception. Coach, 5 plays, 41 yards, 2:04 off the clock.
Now we have a spread offense, and with Kings, are they thinking about trying to rein it in a little bit? Let's look and see.
Got to keep it on the ground to Nelson, and Fink comes up with a big hit. No gain.
Defensively, Murphy hard off the corner. You're going to see it. They tried to run the stretch.
Fink.
I'm sorry, Devin Fink off the corner hard.
Fink, who has those 2 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6. 5-man front. Here comes 6. They're going to put pressure. They find Miller over the middle, near the 40 for a first down, gain of 13.
They found him over the middle. I think you stretch it so long, and there you go. Good job again. And they found receiver in the middle of the field. Let's see how they follow up.
Zone read, Whitehead, big hit. That's a flag. Brook came in. That's the toughest call. I've seen that a lot lately in the NFL and in college. The quarterback is sliding. The safety comes in, makes the hit. As he's sliding, it's hit hard. Here we see it again. We saw this before, Coach. Look at it. He's going down.
I'll tell you, and the biggest thing is it wasn't below the shoulder pads. It was at the head.
Yeah.
So they've already set a precedent. I don't know how you could do either or here.
Well, that's what the Kings players are telling the referee.
Pistol foul, targeting number 22. He's ejected.
Yep, as you said, they already did it with Jake Minetti in that first quarter, and we get another senior in the secondary who has to go to the locker room, and that is Jacob Brook.
I think there's a couple of things. The quarterback sliding. Safety's moving pretty much full speed. Yeah, and it's something that has to be ingrained over. Normally, that would be maybe a roughing but not an ejection. Now, in this day and age, it's a little different. That's something that has to be called and ejection put with it.
Here we go again.
You can see him go down. And again, Brooks is coming in, but it's definitely a shot at the head.
As you said, the precedent was set with Jake Minetti. Unfortunately, Geimer took a big hit to the head that knocked him out. Whitehead was able to jump back up. Just a little different hits, but still targeting on both sides. And that's the way the college game is being played nowadays.
Interesting, though. This is the first time I think I've seen it twice in one
I don't
game.
think I've seen it in a long time, yeah. So back on the field, the drive continues. The ball's at the 15 for the Monarchs, trying to take back the lead. Whitehead to the corner, hits Maroney inside the 10. Short of a first down, second down on the way.
Robinson again playing that sideline pattern. And as you see, Whitehead here makes the throw.
Quick in, looks like Campbell dives in. Touchdown, Kings. They get the lead back.
Yeah, the Kings offense does a nice job coming back after the turnover. Campbell with the catch right at the goal line pretty much. We've seen him run that pattern maybe 5 or 6 times. This time he scored.
Well, the extra point have been interesting this afternoon, to say the least. We've had a couple missed that could come down to an extra point now that we're tied. So this is Tominello, Mike Tominello Sr. in. He's missed a couple. Hit the upright the last time. This one is up, and it is straight and through. So Kings returns the favor to Wilkes. They take back the lead. 33 points on the board. What happens when 4 geeks become friends with one beautiful girl? Find out weeknights at 7 and 7:30 p.m. Join Sheldon for the intelligent comedy and laughs on The Big Bang Theory. Weeknights at 7 and 7:30, only on Fox 56.
We have a minute left, third quarter. Wilkes obviously not out of this ball game by a stretch. See Coach Brown on the sideline.
Here's the touchdown again to Trey Campbell.
Campbell runs that flat, and again, 2 people up quickly to try and make that tackle, but Campbell in the end zone. Drive summary, 6 plays, 54 yards. Took a 2 minutes and 1 second off the clock.
Campbell's had a big game against Lev Val this year. 5 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. Today, Campbell's made 8 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown.
Good coverage. Kickoff, covered team, as Kings had several players down the field.
Well, Wilkes has taken opportunities when Kings gave them the ball, but they have not really shown that they can drive down the field.
Have not been able, that's exactly right, to sustain a drive. The turnovers have allowed them to score off a short field. Let's see if Huffin can bring them down the field, starting at their 25-yard line.
Big blitz put on. He somehow gets it out to a receiver.
I tell you what, I'm liking the kid already. Huffin, he's doing, look, he sees the pressure. He's trying to throw it out of bounds. Receiver right there. Need to do a better job up front if you're Wilkes. Want to give this kid a chance to get the ball up the field.
Aaron Coyne caught it, but it was a 3-yard loss. Last play of the third. Out to Cadis, a sliding catch. Maybe a yard at best, and that should just about do it here in the third quarter. Here we look at it again, coming right at you.
There you see it's a flat pass. Pass was thrown a little low.
This quarter started out slow, but things are definitely heating up here at McCarthy Stadium. Quarter number 4 is on the way in the Mayor's Cup.
You're watching the 22nd annual Mayor's Cup game on MyTV WQMY.
The crowd still on hand here at McCarthy Stadium, all bundled up on a chilly Veterans Day in November, enjoying a high-scoring Mayor's Cup. Kings with the 7-point lead as we get start for the fourth quarter. Bob I, Joe DeMelfi, and Aaron Dugan enjoying this game.
We're starting with a third down for the Colonels. Started a fourth.
He throws it up and it goes incomplete. He gets hit after he threw it. No flag down. So the punt team onto the field.
Armstrong and Stieber both deep routes. Huffing threw the ball high. No doubt he has a good arm. That was about a 45, 50-yard throw. Good arc on it, but fell incomplete.
So Nye on to punt. Things started in that first quarter. It seems like forever ago. He got hit after the kick. And this time they take him down, they find him.
Great
play in the backfield by number 21 for Kings.
Don't know whether he thought, I know what it was. He was taking his rugby steps. Defender showed up right in front of him. He thought he could take 2 or 3 more steps. Did not happen. Excellent play defensively.
Zavai Colin Camaro out of Manwal, New Jersey, comes up with a big play for the Monarch special teams, taking down the punter.
Huge play.
Kings at one point today had a 20-6 lead. 26-6 then in the third quarter. So from the 19, Monarchs trying to get 2 in a row up on the board. Whitehead over the middle again. Maroney picking up a block. Maroney to the end zone. Touchdown Kings, Tyler Maroney.
I'll tell you what, he's done an excellent job. They threw him the ball inside. He then hard step, came outside, and here you're going to see it. The ball's thrown inside. There you see it. And then outside. Good block, but he's going to stretch the ball over the pylon. Touchdown for Kings.
Second touchdown of the day for Maroney. 7 catches, 87 yards for the senior in his last game here. He's out of Wilmington, Delaware. Timonello, extra point is good. So 27 seconds into this fourth quarter, Kings extends their lead now over their rivals from Wilkes. And the Monarch student section on hand, liking what they've seen so far. After we were tied at 26, Kings with 2 straight touchdowns. They've pulled ahead now by 14.
Mistake on special teams. Quick penetration. punt team did not do a great job on blocking up front. Caused the punter to be sacked, basically.
So after that, special teams played only one play, 19-yard strike. Whitehead to Maroney. Cadis again, up to past the 30 to 32.
Wilkes down by 14, 14:26 left, fourth quarter. I believe 2 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken.
Wilkes has 1 timeout left. They've used 2.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm
Thought-
looking at the scoreboard.
Thought they had, I'm sort of blocked here from the scoreboard, but they still have a timeout.
Let's see if this freshman Huffin give them a little extra oomph. Big pump fake and up over to Armstrong. Armstrong pulls it in. Oh wait, he's still battling.
I'll tell you what,
That matchup between Hill and Armstrong has been very interesting in this last 15 minutes or so.
Huffin, watch the fake here, and he has somebody right in front of him. Defensively, makes the throw to the middle of the field, and Armstrong comes up with it. Here we see Stieber with the run on the sweep.
Little sweep, and he gets belted out of bounds. A little bit slow to get up.
Justin Foster forces him out.
He's had a big game for the Colonels. There you see him forced deep in the backfield, and he's still able to turn it up and pick up a few yards.
They're going to take him off. Take a look after that big hit was put on. So a big loss as Stieber goes off. A junior out of Berwick. Quarterback keeper still on his feet. Huffin tiptoeing down the sidelines. Got his first down inside the 20.
Runs that quarterback sweep. It's almost like a single wing formation, Bob. Direct snap from the center. Huffin gets to the outside and picks up the first down.
Colonels responding inside the red zone now. They're actually calling 1st and goal. Defense hits Deemer right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they had a lot of push up the field.
Deemer on the carry.
Vasquez was up the field right there. Forsman was up the field for Kings, so there wasn't a lot of room to run.
Armstrong comes to the near side. Watch out for number 87. They're going to go right to him. Throw it up again. Pushing the end zone, no flag.
They had almost double, and I don't blame them, almost double coverage. Armstrong wasn't able to get off the ground. Was bumped, but not enough to call the penalty, as you're going to see it here. Right there, he just couldn't get up. Pass falls incomplete.
Eli Vasquez on the coverage. 3rd down and goal from the 11.
3rd down goal.
Wilkes down 14. Picked off, intercepted by Maxwell. And the Pittston area product still on his feet. The senior pulls it down, the crowd goes wild.
And I'll tell you what, Huffin made a freshman mistake. He was sprinting to the right. Maxwell was underneath. Watch this. Maxwell underneath and coverage on the top too. So really you tuck it and try to make another play.
1st and 10 Monarchs.
Maxwell with a big interception and great return.
So up 14. Let's see what Kings wants to do. But they did have a 20-point lead in this game. Wilkes came back off some turnovers from the Monarchs. Whitehead scrambled, getting pressure on him. He hits Maroney. Gain of about 5.
Maroney runs that pattern from one end of the field to the other. Whitehead was able to find time and then finally moved to his right and made a nice throw. Second down.
Whitehead nearing the 300-yard mark, has 291 yards, 23 of 32, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions for the senior.
Interesting. I just heard a fan holler, take time off the clock. Well, if you're running a spread offense, that's not top of your list. I have to be very honest with you.
Give it to Downs. Already has a touchdown today. Shoots through inside Wilkes territory for a first down.
Big yardage off that stretch type play to the left side.
Time running, under 11 and a half to play in this game. Tied right now for the highest scoring game in Mayor's Cup history. Whitehead slides again. Robinson tried to put a hit on him.
Well, and fans are hollering for flag. I'll tell you what, the quarterback went to the slide again. He came in over the top, but didn't really have any contact on the helmet. I think it was mostly his arms on the helmet. Now you're using the clock.
Now they're definitely using the clock. Yep, I was thinking the same thing, Coach. And Down still at his feet, almost broke it. Up for about 15. Flag comes in late. Another unsportsmanlike, I believe, coming out on the way, is on the way. And
it's
Chippy?
Yeah, part of the game again because of the rivalry business. But
conduct, 38. 15 yards,
some of it is avoidable. I'll be honest with you. I think that, as you see here, up the field.
So after the play, took them upside to the 26. The penalty will bring them all the way back to the 43. It is a first down, though. Fans into it as well. No pressure on Whitehead again. Out to Campbell.
Campbell's caught more flat passes in this game than I've seen in a long time. Definitely, I'll tell you what he does. He gets to the defender, and then he's able to separate himself very quickly, Bob. And when he does that, he's going to be first to the ball.
Campbell out of Upper Dauphin Area High School in Pennsylvania. Career day today. Already has 9 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. As you might expect, Whitehead over the 300-yard mark through the air. 5-man front. They'll give it to the big bruising running back, Nelson, the sophomore.
Picks up a couple, but again, you're in a situation now deep in Wilkes territory. You're up by 14, 9 minutes, clock running. Everything pretty much in your favor if you don't turn it over, which Kings has done several times.
They just want to make it interesting because
Yeah.
that's all. I mean, they're up 20 points. Good coverage downfield by the secondary from Wilkes.
And I'll tell you what, it forced Whitehead to go to the ground.
3rd and long on the way.
3rd and about 11.
Neither team very efficient on 3rd down today. I'll give you the numbers.
That was definitely a secondary sack right there.
The Monarchs 4 of 10 on 3rd down, Coach. Wilkes 2 of 14. Kings with 464 yards of offense in 70 plays. They're going to find Whitehead and they take him down. Bobby Nye on the punt. He's also the punter.
Nye with a big sack. Brought a little pressure. So we're looking at a 4th and about 25 now as Nye makes a big play for the Colonels. Clock running. We're looking at 7:30.
I don't think Whitehead would have been able to throw that one out of bounds. He was still within the tackle area.
Exactly. That's the kind of play that gets you in trouble with your quarterback. I think Coach Narr's going to call timeout as the clock runs it down.
Yep. 7:11 left in the game. This one not over yet.
By any means, it's not over.
The other high-scoring game I have was back in 2012. Kings lost that one to Wilkes, 44-32.
This is an entertaining game to watch, but a kind of game where cause a coach to pull his hair out of his head. I'll be honest with you, Bob. When you look at the film the next day, you say to yourself, how could we do this or how could we do that? I'm sure Coach Narr's going to say, how could we turn the ball over like that? Wilkes' defense has done a nice job with that.
Well, Maxwell had that interception, and I think he pulled a hamstring or something. He's laying on the ground over by the bench trying to stretch out his hammy. Which is interesting. So the punter is on.
He might have. He had a great run back on that interception.
Constantino, 5th punt of the afternoon. He rugby styles it again and shoots for out of bounds. It's a fair catch, actually, by Cadis, and it's up to the 13, and that's where the Colonel offense will come back on.
Now the Colonel offense has to find some kind of rhythm. 7 minutes left. They only have one timeout left, so they're going to have to use the sideline a little bit if they can.
Aaron down on the sideline and hopefully keeping warm, and has our final guest of the afternoon. Aaron?
Yeah, Bob, trying to stay warm. It's not as bad as last night, so it's all good. I'm very happy to have our next special guest with us. This is Lieutenant Colonel retired John Baum, former commander of the Air Force ROTC. First of all, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you very much. It's so great to be here, and especially on Veterans Day to watch our great Americans out here playing one of our favorite pastimes.
So let's talk a little bit about your transition from the military into higher education. How did you end up at Wilkes University, and what was that transition like?
Well, I tell you what, the great part about it was all based around family. So my wife is from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, so I got to get stationed here at Wilkes University, being the commander, and have an opportunity to work with young men and women looking to go to college and then also join the Air Force and earn their commission as an officer.
Great. So I'm sure you're talking to a lot of high school juniors, seniors in the admissions department. It's a busy time right now. Do you have any advice for the student?
Absolutely. Start thinking early, start applying early, and start really working towards the application process and thinking about the schools that you want to go to in the fields of study. You don't have to have it all figured out, but just thinking about it earlier than later is always better.
So as a veteran, I mean, a huge part of your life What does Veterans Day mean to you and also to Wilkes?
Oh my goodness, it's just a time of reflection and thinking about what you're part of if you are a veteran, thinking about, of course, friends and any accomplishments that you've been a part of, and then just serving something that's larger than yourself. And I think once you ground yourself thinking about Veterans Day, that's what brings it all home.
Thanks so much for stopping to chat.
All right, thanks for having me.
Back to you guys.
So a big interception. Thank you, Colonel. Thank you, Aaron. And that was just a throw it up type of punt.
Jump ball.
Jump ball.
Here we go, Stieber. Jeff Stieber runs the go route. If he could have thrown that a little shorter, might have had a chance to, but it was intercepted.
Justin Foster, coach, a senior. Another senior here for Kings. Second interception on the season. And they may have just done it for the Colonels. 6:12 left in the game.
Now it becomes a tough situation for the Colonels. They're down by 14, 6:12 left. Monarchs with the ball, not in any hurry.
They're going to go to the air, over the middle. Corey Flynn, another big return.
They have found that gap in the defense a couple of times. As I said, in a zone defense, there are times when it becomes man-to-man. When is that? When the man's in your zone. So you have to close on that quicker.
Whitehead's biggest day this season came against Lebanon Valley. He was 25 of 37, 373 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did have 4 touchdowns against Lycoming and that wild one here at McCarthy. He has 4 touchdowns this afternoon. He's thrown for 321 so far. Out to Campbell. Tackle by Peterson. Again, no rush for Kings.
There you see Campbell, good throw by Whitehead, not bothered by any type of rush up front. Clock winding down, 5 minutes left, fourth quarter.
Give it to Downs. Up for a first down to the 21. Momentarily will stop the clock, and he's run the ball pretty tough today.
He has run the ball very well, especially from the tackle on outside. He's been able to pick up some speed, move the ball down the field, get downfield and downhill very quickly.
Downs had 165 yards against Misericordia this year on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Kings put up 63 against the Cougars. Downs again, turns the corner. He's tackled by Wood out there, but a gain of 8.
Nice job by Wood getting there to make the tackle. You see it, they're running that, again, that little stretch play. Wood makes a nice move defensively, but Downs picks up good yardage. If folks are wondering why we're standing around offensively, this is the way that a spread offense takes time off the clock.
Yeah, the huddle is gone by the wayside. Whitehead fakes the zone read. Maybe a yard at best. Third down on the way. Monarchs is going to run that clock down. Will be under 2 minutes. Under 3 minutes to play in the game by the time they snap this one off.
If people have tuned us in late, they're wondering if there was any entertainment in this game. We can assure them there has been.
Absolutely, that especially in that first quarter. Been a hard-hitting, rough game. as you might expect and want to see in a rivalry, especially at the collegiate level. Whitehead to the 1. First and goal, a call it from the 2.
There's the quarterback draw. As you see, lineman leads it up the field. Whitehead has time to let the receiver spread the secondary, and then he takes it down to the 2-yard line. So we have a first and goal at the 2 or 3 yard line. Clock running with 2:12.
Timeout Monarchs on the first and goal from the 3.
So we're looking at the second year in a row for Kings to have a great shot here at winning the Mayor's Cup.
They did do that in 2013 and 14. They lost in 15, so over this last decade, it's been pretty even. Since 2010, Wilkes won the first 3. Kings a couple, Wilkes, Kings, and this will actually be the first game in 3 seasons that the home team will win.
That's something we were talking about before the game. But last year, Kings went to Wilkes and walked away with the victory. And they are about 1 minute and 57 seconds away from claiming it again, it being the Mayor's Cup.
These two schools, as Joe will attest, blocks apart, and even that is shrinking.
Yes, it
as
is.
Wilkes is being, Wilkes-Barre is being taken over by some of the colleges. It was great for the downtown.
That's exactly right. Give it a lot of foot traffic, and it is great for the downtown. Wilkes' defense comes up with a stop on that first down.
Might be a block apart now. Kings took over the Ramada, and with the bookstore and the way the communications building is up on the main avenue now for Wilkes, it may be just over a block away from each other, but close enough. The kids know each other, see each other at night.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the rivalry that transfers to the basketball court, football field, soccer fields, whatever it might be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that good for the city of Wilkes-Barre? I really believe it is. Another timeout.
They don't want the game to end, Coach.
Well, you know what? If you're a senior, maybe that's partly true. You sit there and say, been through 4 years going to class, playing football, practicing. So there's a certain amount of I'm sort of sorry to see this end. Wilkes ends without a win this year. Something obviously that is going to sort of sit in your stomach until next fall.
Well, something to talk about will be that quarterback situation. If they all come back, you have 3 sophomores next year. Tabor comes back because he's a sophomore. He's going to be a junior.
Right.
So they have 4 quarterbacks that have played over the last 2 seasons. Tabor, you would think, knowing what we knew from last year, I probably would be the starter coming in.
I would think. But there would be a great competition.
Well, Kings actually doing the sportsman-like thing.
Well, Coach, I believe Coach Narr, and know him a little bit, classy guy. So I think that
they're going to Gatorade back coming. 4 and 9 for Kings. Here it comes. I don't think it's going to the assistant. Oh, there's the FR. Well, the celebration will begin on one side of Wilkes-Barre at least. This one's in the books. Kings will end the season with an even record at 5-5. Wilkes will drop to 0-10. And Coach Knar, I don't care how cold it is. I love a bath anytime you get a win.
You know what? Anytime you get a win, you're
Doesn't
happy.
matter. Doesn't matter. So the final score in the 22nd Annual Mayor's Cup game will read Kings 40 and Wilkes 26. Aaron Dugan back on the field with our players of the game when we return here to Wilkes-Barre. We are back at McCarthy Stadium. Teams lining up for the presentation of today's Mayor's Cup. And Aaron Dugan has our players of the game down on the field somewhere. Aaron. Oh, she's not ready yet. So, Coach, wild game. Emotions on both sides still playing out. And, you know, going to take a little while to get over this. Wilkes, the frustration of a winless season. Kings with the win here today.
I think that's a big part of it, Bob. You know, you walk away with no wins, and now you have to watch your neighbor right down the road receive the trophy second year in a row. So there is a little bit of frustration. Coaches and personnel did a good job of breaking it up as we wait for the presentation of the Mayor Cup.
I think Aaron is with one of our players of the game, Tyler Maroney. Aaron?
Yeah, Bob, we have our players of the game, Tyler Maroney, Zach Whitehead, and we're bringing over Digitano. Tyler, we'll start with you. What did this one mean to your team?
It means everything, man. To go out on a high note like this, it's just awesome. I've been blessed to play this game for 4 years with this group of guys, man. Nothing better than that. Kingsbury.
What is the emotion of playing? Everybody knows it gets a little, chippy out here, but everybody at the end of the day has a good time. So what's it like actually playing in the game?
Well, it's intense. I mean, it's D3, but it's college football. Everybody's trying to perform and do their best. It's good to face your crosstown rivals, but we got nothing but respect for those guys. So we're happy to come away with the win.
Great game.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll move along and talk to the quarterback, Zach Whitehead. First, let's talk about the team's accomplishment. I know we have some personal accomplishments to talk about, but talk about this team and how special these guys are to you.
I'm sorry, complete the last part.
Talk to me about how special this team is to you.
Yeah, and it just the team. I mean, I came in as freshmen. There's like 16 of us left, and I just can't talk about how much we stuck together throughout those 4 years, and to finish out on top like this, winning 2 Mayor's Cups back-to-back years, and winning on our home field in our last game on Senior Day is just icing on top of the cake. So it's amazing.
What did it mean to you to get that record?
You know what? I mean, looking into it, like my dad was the one who was looking at it for most of the part. He said kind of like the yards and stuff like that, and then but once I guess I heard it, I was pretty excited because the guy who I beat is one of our coaches, so I was excited about that, and I was just excited that we got the win tonight, and just couldn't be more proud of our guys. So.
What's gonna stick out the most for you? Anything, memories or games? Or is it just?
I think this whole atmosphere out here, this game and this game.
Congratulations.
Where you from?
Come on, Aaron, they need him. You don't set a record and not get your MVP of the game. So Zach Whitehead, congratulations to him. And Aaron has one more guest down there on the defensive side.
That's right, Bob. One more player of the game, Chris Digitano. Talk to me about the emotions of winning this Mayor's Cup here today.
The Mayor's Cup means everything for us. All the records go out the window. It was just a great honor to take the field with our teammates, and it was a lot of fun.
What are you going to take from this season overall?
It was a great season. I really enjoyed it, and I think it was a great job from all our guys. It didn't go the way we planned all the way, but the Mayor's Cup means everything. It was a lot of fun.
How special is this group?
I'm going to miss my teammates so much. It's so special. There's not even words to describe it. I love these guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
So the Mayor's Cup is presented to the Kings College Monarchs in 2017. Congratulations to them. Joe, thanks for joining us once again for this Mayor's Cup.
Enjoyed it, Bob. Enjoyed working with you, and we had some excitement today.
We did. It made it interesting, definitely here today in Wilkes-Barre. So for the entire Fox 56 sports crew, did a great job in back-to-back games. For Aaron Dugan, for Jonah Melfi, this is Bob Ide saying so long.
You're watching the 22nd Annual Mayor's Cup game on MyTV WQMY.